My sugar mommy wife bullies me because I can't speak, always misinterpreting my sign language. I said I wanted to leave, but she interpreted it as me wanting a gift, and bossily transferred 30 million to me. I told her white moonlight, in just a substitute, but she angrily said to the white moonlight, my husband is telling you, right now, immediately, to get the hell out of here. Truly speechless. Sign language, don't you understand it? And the embarrassed one, okay? Among the three of us, who's the one who doesn't get it? The day Liu Ruoyan's white moonlight returned to the country, she didn't slowly return home until near midnight. Entering the door, Zhao Li still gave a bear hug like, rubbing against my clothes like a cat, until my whole body was covered in her scent. This was probably some little fetish of hers, and the white moonlight. Xiao Da, actually, today. I put my index finger against Li Ruoyan's lips, telling her not to say it. I understand everything. Tonight, you'll get the hell out immediately. Big Boss Liu gives 500,000 a month. My family has already bought 2 houses in 3 years. As a substitute, I still have this tiny bit of awareness. As long as Miss Liu needs it. Before I leave, I can even give the villa a deep cleaning. Liu Ruoyan saw my newly prepared table of feast, sighed deeply and said, let's eat first. After I sensibly served her soup and food, sitting across the table, I took the initiative to gesture. I want to Leah. Before I finished the last word, the phone suddenly popped up a notification with a ding. Bank card, 30 million yuan received. I understand. Liu Ruoyan cast a wise look at me. Gifts I won't forget. Liu Ruoyan leaned forward, gently held my hand, her eyes filled with tenderness. Thinking about it, this gift is still the one you like most. Happy birthday, Zhao Da. Understand. Which one of us actually understands? I wiped the sweat from my forehead, tucked the 30 million away first, and gestured to her once more. I said I want. Liu Ruoyan understood again. Her eyes darkened, subconsciously licking her lips. You're really impatient. I understand. It's not impossible. After all, today is your birthday. It'll satisfy you. With that, I was forcibly pulled into the room. Guys, who understands this? I heard a sign language debate class open downtown. I plan to go practice. After all, if my hand speed is too slow, it's easy to cause misunderstandings. My waist hurts so much. Everyone knows Liu Ruoyan has a childhood sweetheart, White Moonlight. Everyone was waiting for them to get married. But the White Moonlight abandoned Liu Ruoyan and went abroad alone. So I signed an agreement to marry Liu Ruoyan. 500,000 a month to be her White Moonlight. The considerate, gentle, virtuous, and silent version, making a fortune quietly. Thinking of this, I lightly grasped the expensive wedding ring on my left hand. The White Moonlight is back. He definitely won't wear a second-hand ring. So the wedding ring will be given to me. I can make another fortune. Haha. I was happily taking photos to post on a second-hand site when suddenly, a ringtone sounded from under the pillow. My hand was faster than my brain. By the time I realized it was Liu Ruoyan's phone, I had already answered the call. A soft male voice came from the receiver. A man's voice. Are you the assistant Liu Ruoyan hired? I cannot speak. After hesitating for a long time, I let out a very soft, tell Xiao Yan. His little brat is back. He'll marry no one but him. I didn't for a single second. Hesitate to hang up the phone immediately. And sent a psychiatric hospital location to this person. Is telecom fraud played out like this now? No, I was careless. The little brat is Liu Ruoyan's White Moonlight, right? They play quite wildly. I gasped, hurriedly withdrew that text message. Just then, the bedroom door opened. Liu Ruoyan came home to get her phone. Awake, my eyes darted around in panic. Liu Ruoyan misunderstood, and walked towards me with a frown. Does it still hurt? She took off her coat as she walked. Slender fingers gripped the tube of ointment in the nightstand. I clearly applied medicine for you this morning. My head went boom. My face turned red instantly. Suddenly, a flash of inspiration. I gestured to her in sign language. I want to go to the hospital. Okay. You'll call a doctor to the house. I quickly picked up the phone and pointed to this hospital for her. Can you go there and wait for me first? They'll be there shortly. A hint of shock flashed across the woman's delicate face. Long eyelashes fluttered a few times. Squatted down staring at me repeatedly. A psychiatric hospital is also part of a hospital. Why can't it treat trauma? This is a bit complicated. Don't ask too many questions. Due to my mistake, Liu Ruoyan and her White Moonlight met again at the psychiatric hospital building. But it's no big deal. In the hospital lobby, her White Moonlight threw himself at Liu Ruoyan, crying. It was touching like a fledgling returning to the nest. Back then, the little brat was willful and did wrong. He is apologizing to you now. Are you still willing to become his bride? The little brat has already been punished. He has severe depression. The kind that can't be cured, hurting so much he's dying. I got goosebumps in the distance, trying desperately to shrink my presence. My gaze was unconsciously drawn to a hospital poster. This research project seems to be able to make money. Annual dividends of over 2 million. Should I invest a bit? About 2 hours later, I found that on my phone there were 18 missed calls from Liu Ruoyan. I rushed back to the hospital lobby. Her White Moonlight was squatting on the ground, wailing, while Liu Ruoyan was leaning against the wall, lips tightly pursed, gloomy gaze carrying a chill. Her originally cold temperament became somewhat terrifying. Approached, suddenly heard her say to the White Moonlight, Can you have some dignity? Do you take me for a fool? The White Moonlight was heartbroken, pointing at me while sobbing. Is it because of him? Liu Ruoyan turned her head accordingly. In an instant, the hostility all over her disappeared without a trace instantly. Even added a hint of grievance. She walked quickly to me and took my hand, as if afraid I would run away. Holding very, very tightly, she said to the White Moonlight, Of course it's because of my husband. I've been married for 3 years. Please have some self-respect, sir. After saying that, Liu Ruoyan looked down at me again. The grievance in her eyes was no longer concealed. She gave me a nudge, asking me to say something. I suppressed it for a long time, and forced myself to gesture to the white moonlight. Actually, she loves you. I am just a substitute. The white moonlight couldn't understand. Instead, the stack of documents in my arms scattered on. Ruoyan looked down for a moment, picked up one of them, and handed it to the white moonlight. Let me explain what my husband means. He invested in a hospital research project, specifically to treat people with brain diseases like you. Please go get treated quickly. If you're short on money, my husband will sponsor you. Stop coming out and making a fool of yourself. Is that what I meant? Liu Ruoyan, how do you understand again? Jiboda, I must make it clear to you. My feelings are just like what the wedding vow said. You are the only one irreplaceable. The person I love the most. It was so 3 years ago, it is now, and it will be for the rest of my life. On the way back, Liu Ruoyan was driving. She secretly looked at me through the rearview mirror. Her gaze was burning, making me feel a bit guilty. Wedding vows are just going through the motions like that. I even said I would be loyal to my partner. But actually, I've been secretly saving up a private stash. After getting those 30 million yesterday, I've already been secretly planning to divorce and go back. To retire now. Anyway, I've only known Liu Ruoyan for 3 years and 1 month. If it weren't for the shadow of the white moonlight on me, I don't believe she would inexplicably love a man so devotedly. As if hearing my inner thoughts, Liu Ruoyan suddenly gripped the steering wheel, her voice sounding hoarse as she spoke. You don't have to do anything. Just give me time. It'll prove it to you. I didn't know how to respond. Finally, I reached out and gently stroked her head. Love or money? I already made my choice when I signed a prenuptial agreement. Compared to a woman who loves me, I would rather be a minor tycoon myself. On the 3rd day after the white moonlight returned, he took the initiative to ask to meet me at a cafe. For the first time, I felt quite anxious about not being able to speak. I could only listen to his one-sided output, unable to even get a word in. He took out the order from my wedding ring, the corner of his mouth curling into a sneering cold laugh. Liu Ruoyan treats you as my substitute. She's been saying sweet nothings all the time. You must feel it, right? To tell you the truth, I am the protagonist. I have a system. I will definitely conquer Liu Ruoyan. The white moonlight wanted to see me feel ashamed. Wanted to see me go crazy with rage. But I just wrote down and asked him, how much budget did the system give you to drive me away? The white moonlight was stunned. Blushing, I handed him the QR code. Since the platform fees are quite high, can we just do an offline transaction? After typing, I took off my wedding ring. I showed him the details from all angles, the band, the diamond engraving. But since the money isn't in my hands yet, I can't let go of the ring. The white moonlight was dumbfounded, both hands tightly gripping his high-end custom suit pants. He threw a check at me, asking me to fill in the numbers. Name your price. Take the money and get as far away as possible. My eyes suddenly. I carefully folded and put away the check. I signed to him in sign language. Understood I'm leaving now. Before I finished signing, the seat beside me sank. Liu Ruoyan appeared at the table. She was written all over with displeasure from head to toe. She reached out an arm and wrapped it around my waist, coldly open. Opening her mouth, she said, you really are haunting us. My husband can't speak. Stop bothering him. After saying that, Liu Ruoyan pressed down on my wrist. He gave me a look that said he understood. My heart skipped a beat. Do you know what my husband meant? He told you to get lost. Do you understand? It really is a matter of life and death. Did Liu Ruoyan understand? He didn't understand at all. Has going to misinterpret it all the way to the South Pole. This check's limit is 10 million. Let's communicate via text. Don't look at the sign language, okay? After returning home, Liu Ruoyan stopped me and interrogated me for several rounds. I hid my right hand behind my back. In that flash of lightning, white moonlight bro clicked confirm receipt. I directly stuffed the ring into his suit pocket. Business people should have integrity. The woman made a dissatisfied tisk sound. I immediately buried my head lower, preparing to be scolded. Although since I've known him, he has never scolded me in that moment of distraction. My right hand suddenly felt cold. It was Liu Ruoyan taking another ring out of his pocket and putting it on me. The heavy cold feeling made my heartbeat skip a beat. The previous one was only over 1 million. It was my fault. Too cheap. This South African diamond is 46 million. If lost, no one would dare pick it up. Hubby just wear it for fun. I was completely stunned. Liu Ruoyan showed a cunning and smug smile, rubbed the top of my head, and got up to walk back to the study. This is the first time I quite like being a mute. I'm too scared to speak, okay? The flex came so suddenly. Maybe I should stay for a few more days. Might go from a multimillionaire to a billionaire. Liu Ruoyan gave me a ring, hinting that I should give him something too. At night, he kept grabbing my hand to hit the nightstand. During the day, I thought it over. Solemnly placed the book on the nightstand as a return gift. Learning sign language from scratch. He was so happy he didn't come home for 3 days. The next time we met was at Liu Ruoyan's company. But I wasn't there to deliver food. Rather, I was the party A investing in his project. I divided my money into 3 parts. About 10 million for flexible use and project investment. This time I spotted a promising tech project. His assistant was originally going to take me to the CEO's office. But halfway through, I and several retail investors walked into the conference room to hear the report. The assistant was too surprised to speak. To this, Liu Ruoyan explained calmly. My husband wants to start a career. Is there a problem? My cheeks flushed. Quickly closed the office door. Liu Ruoyan smiled gently and knelt down to gaze at me. Thank you, Party A Daddy, for trusting Lias and investing in me. I will work hard to make money for you. I felt a bit flustered. Quickly told him. I didn't know the subsidiary was controlled by Lias. The prospects of this project are very good. I trust its expected returns. I am investing sincerely. Although it's the money you gave me being given back to you. Of course it's your money. I understand what you mean. Liu Ruoyan wrapped my fingers in his palm. A shimmer reflected in his eyes. Tiny and fragmented. They were all my shadows. You just need to trust me. The rest, leave it to my husband. Actually, you are very good at investing. The psychiatric research project you picked last time will win a Nobel Prize in a few years. I was stunned for a moment, questioning how he knew about things years later. Liu Ruoyan lowered her eyes, a flash of sorrow passing through them. Was quickly diverted by him. By the way, did your mother have her checkup on time this year? You've invested in a hospital project. Why not invite mom for a checkup while you're at it? There should be a discount. Go early this year too. My mom simply loves the word discount. The checkup was soon scheduled. And on that very day, Ruoyan and the white moonlight trended on social media without warning. The media caught them in a hotel, full of passion. Arrived together 3 days ago. Left together 3 days later. When leaving, the white moonlight's legs were so weak he could barely walk. I silently reported the marketing account. And uninstalled the app while I was at it. These candid marketing accounts are so wicked. Isn't this destroying family harmony? He gives me 500,000 every month. What does 3 days of passion with the white moonlight matter? Should I make some soup tonight to nourish his body? My mom sat on a massage chair in the high-end checkup center, eating fruit and sighing leisurely. You're more capable than I am. Marrying such a good wife has let me enjoy life with you. She originally didn't agree to my marriage, let alone knowing about the prenuptial agreement. Later, Liu Ruoyan talked to her privately. No one knows what they discussed. She stopped interfering with me. Peace of mind. Enjoying the comfort thoughts drifted far away, until the doctor called my mom's name for the checkup. As she stood up, a nurse rushing by bumped into me. The documents in her hand scattered all over the floor. She apologized profusely. I rubbed my shoulder and helped her pick them up. My gaze fell on a. Suddenly stopped at a file. Patient E. Tengcheng. Content. Forced electroconvulsive therapy, December the 7th to December the 10th. E. Tengcheng is the white moonlight's name. During these 3 days, didn't the media report him being passionate with Liu Ruoyan? He. Could it be because of the forced electroconvulsive therapy? I swear this is a scene I'll never forget in my life. I followed the intern into the psychiatric research building next door. Used a bit of superpower. And saw the surveillance footage of a certain VIP treatment room. For a full 3 days, Yi Pengcheng was receiving electroconvulsive therapy here. Liu Ruoyan frequently appeared in the footage, wearing a neat and elegant black dress, holding a book in her hand. Her expression was very cold. Yi Pengcheng broke down and screamed several times. Liu Ruoyan just calmly asked if his mind was clear yet, and if he would listen to the system. That cold and indifferent look. Even I, in front of the screen, couldn't help breaking into a cold sweat. Suddenly realized the high-end hotel where Liu Ruoyan was photographed was right near this psychiatric building. So those 3 days reported by the media. Liu Ruoyan, those 3 days of lingering with the white moonlight. This was how they spent them. You made a mistake. You should endure whatever punishment comes. Didn't the system tell you? So noisy, you're disturbing my reading. Do you know what's written in this book? Sign language is the basis for imitating things. This is my hus. Man's gift to me. Why should I read it to you? The surveillance stopped at this second. Liu Ruoyan's fingers gently stroked the pages, frozen in a gaze full of tenderness and love. And Yi Tengcheng's face opposite her, hideous and distorted, mouth agape and roaring like a mad dog, suddenly slumped back into the chair. An inexplicable fear spread from the bottom of my heart. Would the system's white moonlight be all of this? Just an excuse for Liu Ruoyan not loving. Those she doesn't love will end up as miserably as Ito Shiro. Then will it be my turn next? Perhaps from excessive shock. After returning home, I slept until evening, until I was startled awake by the sound of the door opening. Liu Ruoyan turned and hung up her bag, changed shoes, disinfected, and washed hands at the entrance. She doesn't like outsiders in the house. Cleaning and tidying. She always cooks for herself. She walked into the bedroom to find me, as usual first. A hug, chin resting on my shoulder, rubbing a few times. Only after a while did she say gloomily, "Hubby, I don't like the smell of disinfectant on you, it hurts." I stiffened my body and dodged backward. The flash of panic in my eyes was caught by the woman. She immediately tightened her arms, pushed me into me, back against the glass. I had no choice but to look her in the eye. Liu Ruoyan is very beautiful. Cold white skin. A very faint tear mole under her left eye. Only I know that when she acts, that tear mole becomes as red as blood. The love in her eyes is too thick to dissolve. It almost has a crazed face. She is now staring at me with that look, like staring at prey. Hubby, because of this morning's trending search. Are you angry? I've already handled everything. Nothing happened between me and Ito Shiro. No, you took mom for a physical exam today. The exam results weren't good. It's okay. There's still a chance with early treatment. Or did you discover that treatment room? There are cameras in the treatment room. I shivered. An honest reaction. Gave Liu Ruoyan the answer. Her gaze darkened. Lowering her eyelashes, she said hoarsely, "Don't be afraid of me." That was what Ito Shiro deserved. I quickly gestured in sign language, begging her to let me out. The woman stubbornly refused to let me go. During the struggle, she bowed her head and gently bit my fingertip. "Please, Yada. Don't be afraid of me." She actually sounded a bit aggrieved. "What does this look like?" "Like a very fierce tiger." She clearly could use sharp teeth to bite through the prey's throat, but insisted on acting like a kitten, showing her belly to please me, biting my fingers for fun, proving she is pure and harmless. "Want to eat people?" I can't say what the feeling is. Probably still afraid. I dodged into the bathroom on the pretext of a stomachache. She just waited outside for me to come out, wanting me to carry her down the stairs, holding her while eating, hands hidden under the table, secretly playing with my fingers, not wanting to be apart for even a second. Xiaoda, don't leave me. Please don't leave me again. Actually, if she gives enough money, I'm willing to stay. Instead, it's this crazy appearance now. That makes me afraid, making me want to run away overnight. Tossing and turning at midnight, unable to sleep. I couldn't help but bite her awake. Typed to ask her, did Itoshiro really not do anything? You're too ruthless. Now it's will I be the next one after him? Liu Ruoyan responded with a meaningful smile. The blood debt he owes can't be repaid in several lifetimes. Hubby, I hope you never know about his system. But how much he deserved to die. I was never curious about any system. How could something like that exist in the real world? But they kept bringing it up over and over. Every time they talked about it, they acted like it was deadly serious. They kept me tossing and turning at night. I couldn't sleep for several nights. It's really hard to believe, you know, because I wasn't sleeping well. My temper got worse too. When I went out to throw the trash, I flung the bag hard into the trash can. I didn't expect it to hit someone with a loud bang. Why was there a passerby hiding in the trash can? I instinctively apologized. But that person didn't get angry. She wiped the liquid off her face, smirked, and walked toward me. She whistled. I've been watching this off for days. Finally got to see you. You're really tender. And your body's that great too. I like you even better with nothing on. My mind went boom. In broad daylight. I didn't mishear that, did I? How'd she dare talk like that? The woman moved closer and closer. Flirtatiously, she raised her phone. She showed me a screen recording of the trending searches from the early morning of December the 7th. Someone had posted swapped face photos and short deepfake videos of me. About 5 seconds later, that trending topic vanished without a trace. The person who deleted the trending topic is so annoying. Stuff like this should really be shared more with the girls. But someone tipped us off in advance. Told us to lie in wait. So we still managed to save quite a bit of it. We camped on it after hearing the early leak. The woman's stinking, fishy hand slowly stroked my cheek. Lust and greed flashed in her squinting eyes. The next second, I jammed my fingers hard into both her nostrils. I grabbed a discarded wooden stick and smashed it into her lower abdomen. In the chaos, I snatched her phone. She didn't scream to call the security guard. She just clutched her stomach, collapsed to the ground and convulsed. I quickly scrolled through her chat history. After searching some keywords, I found that one of the accounts posting these benefits was linked to a shady company called Conscience Entertainment. White and thin G-Boda, 5 sizes, absolute top quality. Midnight quick peek at the trending hand-drawn smut. His home address is listed on Conscience. Looking it up online, I learned that Itonaru is an investor in Conscience Entertainment. So this is the real reason Liu Ruoyan took revenge on him. About half an hour later, Liu Ruoyan, who had just run 10 red lights in a row, showed up at the police station. He swept his cold gaze across every face in the lobby. When he heard that the suspect had been beaten by me so badly, he might never have kids again. He clearly froze. Honey, if he did anything else to hurt you, you have to tell me. Don't bottle it up. Don't be afraid. You must tell me, understand? I'll take care of that woman. And Conscience Entertainment. And Itonaru won't let a single one of them off. Once we got in the car, Liu Ruoyan was still gripping my hand tightly. In the pitch-black car interior there was a suffocating tension. It felt like he was looking through my face at someone else. Another Jibbo, timid, cowardly, and bullied by everyone. I didn't know how to ease his tension. All I could do was reach out my fingers and gently stroke the tense veins on his neck. He didn't bully me, and I'm sorry about the other day. I was terrified after seeing that electroshock therapy video. I was scared you'd treat me like that one day too. So Itonaru was really that disgusting, huh? Carefully, Liu Ruoyan cupped my face in his hands. He said, word by word, I will never treat you like that. I'm not like him. You're different from everyone else. Do you understand? Xiaoda, my cheeks were clearly burning up. My heart was beating so fast. So I panicked and looked away. Sign language to him to change the subject. Yi Tengsheng has a system. Do you also have some kind of superpower? Is it mind reading or time travel? Have you been reborn? What answered me was the roar of the engine. Liu Ruoyan fastened the seatbelt, started the car, lowered his eyes and said indifferently, sign language is so complicated. How do you guys? Slow, I can't understand. I see, asking me how to handle this matter. I will sue to the end. You're clearly playing dumb. Don't misinterpret my intentions. I chased and used sign language to reason with Liu Ruoyan. He just focused on driving the whole way, without turning. His eyes from the front. On the driver, I can't be distracted. Hubby, in a moment of impulse, I leaned in and kissed him while waiting for the red light. Just to thank you for helping me. Whether you understand or not. The air went silent. The green light had been on for several seconds. Before Liu Ruoyan took a deep breath and continued driving. After a while, his ears turned slightly red and he said hoarsely, one more time. I should be able to understand. The second month after the white moonlight returned to the country, I, this mute stand-in, successfully won a piece of downtown land at auction. Investment income began to double. The white moonlight was tortured into a state of men. Nowadays, even a small piece of his tongue was cut off so he couldn't speak clearly. He faced a lawsuit for making a deep fake video of me, and was about to go to jail. Everything seems different from what I imagined. Do you know? Only with those closest to you can you lose your temper without restraint. Unreservedly to the other person. What I mean is, we've been childhood friends for 18 years. Liu Ruoyan is only crazy for me. The harder he tortures me, the more it proves he loves me. His just punishing me for leaving him. Another kind of unrequited love. In the cake shop I invested in, a customer repeatedly complained about a cake, demanding the owner apologize in person. I arrived and saw. This unruly customer was Yi Tengsheng. I wanted to refund the money and send him away. He talked about other things with confidence. I really envy that you still have a mother. My parents died abroad. Liu Ruyan doesn't know yet, if he know. He pities me. If I were you, I would grab a sum of money and leave quickly, wasting time by Liu Ruyan's side, only to realize when you're in your 3 zeros, leaving in a wretched state. I frowned. When Ito Chung spoke again, I directly took the cheesecake and threw it in his face. Maybe your system is omnipotent, but it's just chasing after a woman to be her godfather. Stop playing mind games with me. I don't care who Liu Ruyan truly loves. No need to worry about my future. But if you can't capture Liu Ruyan, find another rich woman to marry into as soon as possible. I see you can't live without a woman. Melted cheese mixed with tears rolled down Ito Chang's cheeks. His eyelashes trembled violently, stained with syrup. His whole face turned an angry liver purple. Suddenly he thumped his chi. St and fell from the chair. Laughter wheezed out of the lungs. Face twisted. Seemed unable to breathe. What the hell, don't hit my cake pad. I immediately asked the clerk to call 120, while hurriedly carrying him onto the ambulance. His phone, which had been in video mode, fell from his pocket. All the conversation just now was clearly recorded. And on the other side of the screen was Liu Ruyan's office. Ito Chang suddenly grabbed the phone and roared loudly. Did you see that? Liu Ruyan Jaboda doesn't love you at all. Loving you to death. And you're a little madman. You said you would marry me. Liu Ruyan, only a corner of her chin appeared in the frame. Silent for a long time. A single tear slid down silently. My heart inexplicably ached for a moment. My career as a stand-in might end early. I calculated the money. The money I earned over the years, including the principal. Pay him back with interest. The remaining part should still be enough to buy a small house for Mom. My benefactor Liu Ruyan didn't come home all night. But even if she came home, it would be awkward for us to meet. Early the next morning, I planned to pack my things and stay with Mom for a few days. My mom lives alone. Walking to the dining room, the table was already set with breakfast. The fried eggs were still steaming. There's no nanny at home, so Liu Ruyan must have come back. She made a meal and left again. What's going on? There was also an alumni invitation on the table. Just as I was about to pick it up and look closely, suddenly behind me came the sound of footsteps. It turns out Liu Ruyan was at home. Her messy hair hung over her forehead. When our eyes met, an awkward atmosphere flowed between us. I forced myself to sit at the table and eat. She also sat down expressionlessly, fiercely cutting the fried eggs. Suddenly, asked, "Did you see that invitation?" I immediately sat up straight and shook my head. Pushed the invitation in front of her. "Your private mail. I shouldn't rummage through it." Liu Ruyan ate a clanging sound, dropped the table knife, and walked into the study without looking back. For the rest of the day, we didn't say another word. She even prepared lunch and dinner, and even scooped the cat litter. Still, not a single word was spoken. She is angry, right? Throwing a tantrum. Struggling until 12 o'clock at night. I placed a glass of milk outside the guest room where Liu Ruyan was sleeping. Then I went back to sleep nervously. Not long after, in the middle of dreaming and waking, a warm body pressed against me from behind, holding me tightly through the quilt. Childish self-talk. Hold me, I'm angry. You noticed, right? You coaxed me, right? Then I'll forgive you. I couldn't help but laugh under the quilt. Modi and Liu Ruyan looked at each other. Intense love surged in her deep eyes. Said to me very seriously, word by word. I want to make it clear to you. I torture Ito Chung only because I hate him. He is sick in the head. To have such fantasies. My future life has absolutely nothing to do with him. Now all my answers to emotions are you, as she spoke. Liu Ruyan lowered her eyes and said softly. The school anniversary invitation, have you seen it? Need to bring family members. I am already married. What would it look like if I went alone? On New Year's Eve, I accompanied Liu Ruyan to the university's anniversary celebration. Halfway through, she had something and needed to see the principal, asking me to wait for her at the laboratory building first. My grades weren't good enough for such a great school. But for some reason, everything here feels very familiar. As if a version of myself in a parallel universe once wrote furiously in the lab. This lab building is a bit old. Does the college need investment? Thud, a thick dictionary fell beside me. A man's arrogant voice came from behind. It seems Liu Ruyan really loves you, even bringing you to such a private place like the lab. Yi Tengcheng slowly walked in front of me, clearly a person at the end of his rope, yet pretending to be calm and composed. Do you know what place this is? The place where she and I had our first kiss. She will never tell you these things. Women are all obsessed with their first time, and I have already left a profound mark on her youth. This lunatic makes my scalp tingle. Quickly turning to leave, only to find the door was locked. Yi Tengcheng smiled and began fiddling with the instruments on the table. The old instruments soon started emitting black smoke. Wires short-circuited together. Sparks jumping and falling all over the floor. His mission isn't to electrocute me, is it? The body's reaction was faster than the mind. Without hesitation, I picked up the dictionary and threw it at Yi Tengcheng. He was laughing defenselessly, clutching the conductive pen and falling flat on his back. Then the door opened. Yi Tengcheng's expression suddenly changed. The conductive pen that was originally stabbing at me turned around and stabbed hard into his own stomach. Please spare me, Jaboda. I won't take Liu Ruyan away. I swear I'll only be friends with her. I stopped listening to the system long ago. Is it only if I die that you will let me go? In broad daylight, is this lunatic never going to stop? There's surveillance in this room. I looked up angrily, searching only to find the surveillance camera had been smashed. Only a shell was left hanging there. Panicked for a second, but only for a second. Liu Ruoyan's hand immediately wrapped around my waist, gently pulling me into her arms. Looking for the surveillance? He dismantled it long ago. This is also part of the system's mission. But then, it's easier to get things done when it's dismantled, right? Yi Tingcheng, a hero for a lifetime. Trembling all over as he looked at Liu Ruoyan. It was Xiao Zongzhen's fault. I shouldn't have had so many memories with you. I won't disturb you anymore. I didn't expect Jiboda to want me dead. Please, Jiboda, let me go. Liu Ruoyan's gaze turned cold, quickly interrupting what he was saying. My husband let you go, but I never said I would. She kicked the conductive pen a few times with the tip of her shoe. A bottomless gaze, 220 volts can't handle a 250 person like you, right? The system gave you the final mission, to deal with me or kill Jiboda. Did it tell you about a third path? For example, you die. I seem to have been caught up in Liu Ruoyan's story of rebirth and revenge. She must have been hurt badly by Yi Tingcheng in her past life, to hate him so much. Then what about me in the past life? What did I do to deserve such pampering from him? Does he actually love me? Or is he atoning to that stranger from a past life through me? How is it that you and that husband slave still have times when you argue? The 5th day of hiding at my mom's house. He finally couldn't help but drive me back. So anxious, go back and live in your big. Isn't it good to end it? I can't explain such a complex matter using sign language. After thinking it over, I questioned him. Do you think we are in love? My mom looked at me with an expression like she had seen a ghost. At least she hasn't done anything to hurt you, right? You say you want to leave. I've waited from spring until winter. Waiting any longer and well beholding grandchildren. He wishes he could stick to you 24 hours a day. You haven't had a chance to tell him clearly. Why show off while saying the opposite of what you mean? My mom took a document out of a small drawer. 3 years ago, Liu Ruoyan begged for a long time before he signed this document. You also know, I have always been against you dating and getting married. But at that time, such a silly girl presented herself. If you divorce Liu Ruoyan, you and I can take all of his property. Any reason for divorce is possible. He said the money is owed to you. His brain doesn't seem very bright. But over these 3 years I've seen, with my own eyes, he is sincere towards you. So it was still because of this. What the hell past life? My heart was so blocked it felt parched. Mom suddenly gave me a push from behind. If you want to see her, if you want to ask clearly, then go downstairs to find her. Anyway, his car has been parked downstairs all along. Squatting downstairs in the middle of the night every day. You stinky couples are so annoying. Oh right, after the last physical exam, that illness of mine was cured. The doctor said if it were a few months later, something big would happen. Luckily you took me for a checkup. The checkup was also something he kept reminding me about. Every year he seriously reminded me Liu Ruoyan indeed never did anything to hurt me. I walked out of the elevator, at the position under the window. Sure enough, I found Liu Ruoyan's Maybach, and I was hesitating whether to walk over. He spotted me at once, shook off the snowflakes all over him, and ran towards me. He clearly had a lot of words to say, yet his steps stopped on the last stair, awkwardly tidying his clothes. His jawline became tense, desperately suppressing the nervousness in his heart. He spoke softly. Sorry, I scared you again. Shall I explain it to you slowly? Ito Shijao really dared to commit a crime. In the past life I quickly interrupted Liu Ruoyan's words. I want to hear what I was like in the past life. I loved you very much, and died for you. So after your rebirth, you're compensating me as well. Liu Ruoyan's lips trembled unconsciously a few times. Unable to hide the panic in his heart, I thought she was going to pretend not to understand again, taking out the phone to type. I can understand sign language. It was me who kept misinterpreting your intentions. It was me being afraid that you didn't love me anymore. The corners of his eyes turned red as he spoke bitterly. In the past life, you must have liked me for a long time. But I never responded. I only remember you being tortured miserably by Ito Shijo. Later my favorability level never increased. In the same laboratory. He completed the final mission. Killing me, I was harmed by him without any defense. Only remembering when the fire started burning. A man smelling of disinfectant was trying desperately to pull me out. Kneeling on the ground and kowtowing to Ito Shigeru, he closed his eyes. Those peach blossom eyes looked like they were about to bleed. A slightly hoarse voice with a clear tremble. That person was you, the day you ran out of the psychiatric hospital. So I'm very afraid of the smell of disinfectant on you. I was only one step away from him, but he didn't lean in any further. Like someone who made a mistake. A dejected puppy, abandoned by its owner. Standing outside the gate, letting the snowflakes fall all over his head, hanging on his long eyelashes. Trembling slightly, he took a breath, saying with a pale face, Actually, I also think forcing you like this is despicable. You don't remember any past life. Let's get a divorce. It'll give you back your freedom. Saying this, he took a step back. I immediately moved forward, and pulled her scarf hard. Liu Ruoyan was clearly stunned. The moment she looked up, tears rolled down from her grayish eyes. At a loss. Froze there. I am a person whose emotions outweigh reason. I do whatever comes to mind immediately. So I reached out and gently wiped the tear from the corner of his eye, pulled him into my arms, and kissed him hard. I never said anything about divorce, but you need to think clearly. I am different from the past life. At least I don't love you that much yet. Please get to know me again. Understand my heart seriously, and then have a proper relationship with me. I am waiting for the cold wind, waiting for the falling leaves,